Alright, hello everyone, it's Team Rocket Draws here with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video guys, we're gonna be drawing Lapras. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how it ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw it, then let's get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, that way it's easier for you guys to draw, and at the same time you guys can get all your details. Just keep in mind guys that we are gonna start by doing a sketch, and then from there on you guys are gonna do your final drawing. So remember to do your lines light. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do a circle. This is gonna be the size of the head, and so just try to make it as perfect as you can. Once we have that guys, we're gonna split it in half, and then we're gonna measure the length. We're gonna mark it down once, twice, and then 3 times. So right there I marked down 4, just because it's like 4 circles if you count the first one. That's just gonna help us guys. At the 4th one, we're just gonna make a reference line going across, and we could just do that line going down the middle, and just like around half of the circle guys on either side we're gonna do a reference line. This is just gonna help us do the circle for the body. It doesn't have to fit perfectly, as long as you guys could get it in the right area. If you guys notice, it's a little bit above the 4th dot and a little bit above the 2nd line that we did for the circles that we marked off. And as long as you get it like close to a perfect circle once again, then you guys are fine. Once we have that guys, we could just do the neck as well as the back part. And the hardest thing actually that's gonna be guys is the body. So once we get to that, then yeah, it's gonna get a little harder. So now for the ear, once we have the ear guys, around the middle of half of that circle we're gonna do the mouth, and then just connect it to the top of the circle for the head. Now the inside, just connect it to the bottom of the circle, and I do a reference line right there just to show you guys that the horn doesn't go higher than the ear. And then this ear right there. Once we have that, we can work on the eye. Just use those crosshairs to get an idea where it goes. And there we go. Now we could just I ended up changing this line right there just because I didn't like how it ended up, but right now just erase some of those reference lines guys. We don't need them no more. Those little like dots that he has on the body. Now this is gonna be the hardest part on doing Lapras guys. It's like a shell, so I started by doing the shell top, but then I decided to do the flipper. So if we go down the side, like basically where his snout is, I did a reference line going down, and that's just gonna help us know how long to do the actual flipper. Now right here for the tail, as well as this one right there. And then I use the where we mark down the 3, I do a reference line, and just to show you guys where this last flipper starts. You guys look at the reference, roughly that's where it's gonna start, so that's why I did that reference line. Now that we have those, we could just start finishing off the shape of the shell right there. Now we're gonna do one of those spikes coming out of the body. There's another one around here, one there, and one right there. Smaller one there as well. Just with these is gonna help us do the rest. So I realized that there was another of those spikes right there, and this is gonna help us place the rim, like the outer edge, since there's like 2 lines. Kind of like it's thicker, it gets thinner, like in some places it kind of connects a lot closer to the outline. So it's just a matter of looking at the reference guys, that we have to get a better idea. So once we have that, we can start erasing those reference lines from the circle that we did earlier. And that's why I said the shell is probably the hardest thing to do on Lapras. So if you guys are not able to get it on the first time, just keep trying guys. Alright, so right here on the side, I do a reference line. This is just gonna help us do this flipper. And the length of the flipper and the size of it guys, just do like a reference shape, or just sketch it out. And if it looks good, then if it looks good. If it doesn't, then go ahead and just change it accordingly. Now we're gonna add some of these lines right there where we have the kind of like the light brown, the tan, and then some of those marks as well on the body. And we're basically done with Lapras, guys. Now I just go over and just start erasing some of those reference lines, just trying to clean it out a little bit better. But the thing is that, guys, that's why I mentioned at the beginning of the tutorial to do your lines light. Here on mine, you guys can still see them, they're all marked off. It's because I do them a little bit darker, that way you guys can see it a little bit on camera, so you guys gonna see that in the final drawing. And I can't fully erase it, but that's why I do your lines light, that way you guys can, just in case you guys want to do it that way. And then to finish it off, you could outline it or you could do whatever you want, but this is the time to make your changes. Like if something doesn't look right, guys, now's the time that's gonna be noticeable. If you don't like one of the flippers, maybe the flipper's too long or it's not in the right place, make any changes to your drawings when you have your sketch, right? It doesn't have to be like mine, doesn't have to be like the reference. As long as it looks good in your sketch, then go and make any changes necessary. Once I have my final sketch and I'm happy with it, I go ahead and I erase the whole thing, guys, just to get a cleaner outline. And so you guys saw me doing earlier, and then I just go over and just do the final outline. So I do make some changes. Obviously I make the lines a little bit better, I don't make them that stiff. And one of those things is like the outer rim of the shell. If you guys notice, it has like some different areas that it curves more than others. And ultimately this is how it ended up looking like, guys. I like how it came out. One of the things that probably I would change would be just the length of the neck. I feel like if I would do the neck a little bit longer, it would have looked a little bit better. But I think the only way to really do that was to make that circle that we did at the beginning a little bit smaller, or just curve the shell a little bit. Don't make it stick out as long, you know what I mean? So that's just one of those changes, but I still like how it came out. Still looks pretty good. I'm happy with it, like I mentioned before. So you guys could either use my final outline to do yours, or whatever you guys want to do. And once we have that, guys, I do end up coloring it. I usually use my watercolor pencils, and then I go over them with the color pencils. But for this one, I decided to use my Copic markers, guys, just because I thought it was gonna be a little bit better. So here you guys see me coloring it. I just used like a really light blue, and I didn't have the exact same color as Lapras, but I used one that I still thought, you know, kind of was similar to the color of Lapras. But I ended up just using like a light gray to go on some of the areas, and then that way I can make it a little bit darker. For the shell, I used a couple different grays, and then just went over with the tan color and whatnot, and then the blue. So ultimately, guys, I think it came out okay, you know what I mean? Other than you guys being able to see the sketch at the beginning, I wasn't fully able to erase every single line, but I still think it looks okay. Yeah, so ultimately and then I just went over with the gel pen at the end, just decided just to add like some highlight, that way it stand out a little bit. And I think it came out pretty good in the end. So let me know in the comment section below, guys, how yours turned out. If you guys have any questions, let me know once again. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this tutorial. Don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next one. Team Rocket Draws out.